Are you someone who gets very easily emotionally attached in your relationships? You're scared being abandoned, you're scared being rejected, you chase them, you please them, and you wonder if you're unlucky or you're just not blessed enough. But it's not only about relationships. Maybe in your business you struggle to take actions. Maybe conflict is something that is really bothersome to you. Maybe you are in a place in your life where you actually want to move forward, but you're too scared. And you may think it's because you have not the enough knowledge or you don't have the right environment, and all of that can have some impact. What if I tell you it has something to connect with your inner child? So, inner child is basically a childish, younger version of you that carries the emotional memories from the past. It is nothing but the subconscious blueprint of a childhood. And this blueprint is a very critical part of who you are, what you do today. It carries the information why you act the way you do and why you are not where you want to be. And it's a vital, important component of your life, because if you truly want to experience love and joy and laughter and abundance, you've got to connect with its inner child. And I personally have found in my life there's nothing that has helped me heal and grow much more than connecting and reparenting and reprogramming my inner child. So now you know what inner child is. The question comes is, okay, why should I look onto it? Like, what has my past to do with who I am today? Like, why I had to think about what happened at the age of 7, 8, 9 is in the past, and today I'm 30, I'm 40. There's no need. Well, in reality, there is a need, because who you are today, you're nothing but a sum of mental and emotional habits. And who you are today is a product of what happened yesterday. And what happened yesterday is a product of what happened in childhood. So if you do not address what happened in childhood, you will not be able to address who you are today. And yes, you do not have to go and scan and search everything that happened in childhood and fix it, but there are certain things which you should fix. And if you do not fix, the researches, the psychology proves that the consequences can be massive. So the first thing that happens when your inner child is not healed is that you develop self-hatred or self-unliking. It's like you do not like yourself, you do not appreciate yourself. And when you see yourself in the mirror, when you see your photos, you always judge yourself and you do not feel proud of who you are. And when your self-esteem is low, it really becomes a struggle to live life, to actually experience life, because you're constantly at war with yourself. Number two, you develop a very harsh inner critic. There's a part of our brain that is constantly analyzing the environment and giving us information. Now, having an inner critic is important so that you're careful in taking decisions. But if it's below a certain point, then it becomes so hard to make decisions, because there's a part of you that's constantly bothering you, attacking you, disturbing you to take actions, and then you're not at mental peace. Number three is you become very easily emotion dependent. How many of you have this problem where you become emotionally dependent in your relationships with your partner, but not just your partner, with your friends, but not just your friends, with your colleagues, with the people you only have met twice or thrice, and you already start developing that emotional dependency? That is because of unhealed inner child. Number four, you start having fearful, intrusive thoughts. Basically, you become an overthinker. And we all know that if you are an overthinker and you don't control it and change the trajectory, there's always a chance to actually become depressed. Now, when you have these fearful, intrusive thoughts, most of us try to change the external circumstances to change our internal chatter. But what if these internal thoughts are connected with the emotions and the wounds that are connected with your past? There is evidence to prove that as well. Number fifth, you struggle to be alone. Now, this is a critical thing when it happens, your inner child is not healed. We all have come alone into this world, we will live alone from this world. And if you're not comfortable living in your own body, if you're not practicing gratitude and solitude, then I have a question for you. Do you really think you can actually live a purposeful, high performing life if you cannot spend time alone with yourself? Number six, and this will prove that your inner child is actually unhealed. You get very easily emotionally attached and you happen to find yourself in toxic relationships. Now, I do not think there's something called toxic relationships. I actually do not appreciate this word, but you get into relationships where after some time the unhealing comes out, right? Your unhealed patterns start becoming apparent in your relationships, and you wonder, though you're a good person, though you have good intentions, though you actually are trying to serve, you give with a good heart, why do you get so unhealed people in a relationship? And it does not happen one time, it has happened like multiple times. Well, it's because your inner child is unhealed. Now the question comes is, why should I heal my inner child? What is the need? Well, the need is, as long as that subconscious blueprint, which is from the age of 3 to 9, is not rewired and healed, that blueprint will continue your life. And that blueprint is just not related with relationships or your self-care. It is also related with your money. It is also related with your careers. It is also related with your health. That blueprint is carrying the code to what you believe your health should be, or what you can achieve in health, where your wealth should be, or what is possible for you to achieve in wealth, and what is your career should be, and what is possible to achieve for you in your career. So can you imagine that 3 to 9 years, and also what happened after, is such a critical, massive part of your life that is unignored. And if you do not change it, then you can move to Bali, you can move to Canada like me, right? You can change your circumstances, you can move from partner to partner, but nothing in your life will really change. So the question comes is, if you really want to change now, how do I change it? And is there an easy way? Well, there is an easy way, and I have been fortunate enough to find it. And this is actually has become the purpose of my life. So, how to heal the inner child? The real question. Well, this is going to be a process and it's a journey. And this is something you should not fast pace and you should not bypass. You got to take steps and also be patient with yourself. I like to think that the reason why you struggle with impatience in any area of your life, it is also connected with your childhood, with your inner child. So the number one thing is you have got to reparent yourself. What does it mean by reparenting yourself? Reparenting means that you have to become the parent of yourself, of your inner child that you did not have from your parents growing up. So basically, the way it happens is you've got to visualize the emotional wounds and memories that you're perhaps carrying that are very apparent from the age of 3 to 9, and you've got to connect and reparent them. And one of the key ways to do it is asking yourself for forgiveness. You see, many of us have literally left our self care, our inner child unattended, and we have been abandoning ourselves. We have been, betraying ourselves and chasing others, chasing money, chasing all kind of other things which are not in alignment with our purpose. And that is adding more and more baggage to the baggage that's already there. So just take a moment and actually scan if there's something that happened in your childhood that actually carries a heavy toll in your subconscious. If you have gone through some crazy trauma like sexual abuse, violence, abandonment, silent treatment from your mom or from your dad, or a passing of a loved one, well, that is an emotional trauma that you need to heal and connect with your inner child. The way to do it is that you got to visualize, go back to that memory when that happened, and then you have to connect with your inner child. You have to give your inner child the safety, the love, the compassion, the care, and as well as you have to ask for forgiveness from your inner child. Because this part of you that you have left unattended for so long, it's still there. It's asked you many times to give you your warmth, your care, your love. But you have been just busy in your outer world, changing the circumstances to feel peaceful and happy internally. But clearly, that's not working. So visualize the emotional wounds and memories and take care of them. And of course, it's recommended, highly recommended, to have a coach or a therapist to work with you. I've helped many people through it, and truly one of the biggest blessings of life is to help people heal and reparent their inner child, because I didn't have something for myself and I had to learn it through books and do it on my own, and of course through community. And once you're able to do that through external help, highly recommended, life changes. Truly, truly, your life changes. Number two is to talk to yourself every day with love and compassion. This is where the affirmations is so important. You may have come across this book, How to Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. This is where she talks about how she went through sexual abuse and all that stuff in her childhood and how that made her such a vulnerable woman. And then how she used affirmations and positive thoughts to reprogram her mind. Now, why does it work? Well, self talk is so important. You and your mind are always in constant connection. So, affirmations are basically the blueprint, the imprints you're putting in your mind so that you can actually have the life you desire. Now, for example, if you struggle in relationships and get very easily emotionally attached, well, that is the blueprint. Now you have to change it through affirmation, and it has to be positive, empowering. So if you get very easily emotionally attached, you might want to say, I'm emotionally strong and feel secure in my relationships. That's great. If you get very easily emotionally dependent, you want to say, I am an emotionally independent woman and I can take care of my needs greatly. That's great. If you are someone who is constantly chasing promotions and career advancement, but then at the end of the moment you get rejected, then you want to say, I am an empowering leader and I get success easily without chasing. Something you have to say to reprogram the blueprint in your subconscious by giving the new imprints in your mind. I cannot stress this enough how self-talk is so important. Every single person you think is successful in any endeavor, use this in their favor, and that's why they are who they are. Number three, check if you have any traumatic emotional wounds that make your body feel triggered. If your body feels heavy, if you feel tight, and heal it through somatic embodiment. What is somatic embodiment? It's basically consciously using your body to generate higher feelings, to generate safety, to generate love, to generate acceptance, so that as you use this body to actually feel and experience what you eventually want to experience, it will automatically reprogram the subconscious mind. This works magic, and I always say Tony Robbins uses this as his number one technique to help people transform and experience lasting results. So use somatic breath work, use your body to like create energy, create passion, create safety, and that will automatically program your mind and it will replace the old blueprint with the new blueprint. And this works magic. Use breathwork, use yoga, use running, use a Superman move, whatever that needs to do that actually makes your body energetic, put your body into high state, it will do magic to replace the old wounds. Number four, rewrite the story. See, all of us are carrying the stories. All of us believe we are today who we are because we have a story. So many of us, and I think maybe some of you, you think you are today, you're unlucky, you're not blessed, you're not achieving, you're not great, you're not doing very well in relationships. It's because who you are. It's because you know what, you're not lucky. It's because you live in a certain state. It's because you did not have that in childhood. Whatever that limiting story is, replace it and change it with an empowering new story. Basically, change it with an empowering affirmation and use your mental power. Use mental rehearsal. Use emotional somatic rehearsal so that the new story, the constructive story you actually want to implement and see in your life, it will replace the old story. Number fifth, this is something we do not practice enough as a society and is the one of the biggest game changers of life. Practice fun and joy. Do not wait for the retirement to feel fun and joy. Do not wait for your marriage for the exact moment so you can feel loved. Start feeling fun, love, and joy today. See what you wanted to have so much in childhood that you didn't get and start practicing it. For example, for me, I always wanted to play with water and swim, and my parents didn't let me. They always abandoned me, put fear in my mind to not do it. So one of my favorite activities that I truly relish is to actually swim in the lakes, in the rivers, and in the oceans through scuba diving whenever I get the chance. And also, I love running, something I didn't get to do enough in childhood. Basically, whatever that gives joy to your mind. Dancing, singing, playing sports, painting, writing as well. Whatever that gives you joy, that is not some goal oriented activity. that gives you so much fun and aliveness. This will just transform your inner world, because ultimately, what do you want out of life? Love, happiness, beauty. So why not do it day in and day out, and definitely on a weekend? So I have a ritual that I teach my high-end clients and entrepreneurs and also to people in my community, is to have an artist date every weekend. Take a day off, take yourself out on an artist date, something you will do for your inner artist. This thing is practiced by many, many big entrepreneurs, screenwriters, creators to awaken the inner creativity. And finally, I want to end this video with one critical understanding. Your parents are not to be blamed for who you are today, for what happened to you in your childhood. Your karma, what you did in your previous life, attracted the parents you have in this life. And your karma made yourself go through those situations, and your karma made yourself experience those thoughts, those emotions when those experiences were happening. Your parents are nothing but an instrument of your karma, and so as well, you are an instrument for their karma in that particular relationship. You do not owe your parents anything except the service you should render to them as a child. But your parents do not owe you anything. They have done really great job to whatever the extent they could do. So do not fall into this trap of this new psychological world. Your parents have screwed you, or you are because who you are because of only of your childhood. No, your karma from all the previous lives is carrying you to who you are today and what you experience in this life. And now from this moment, you have the power to change your karma. And that is something that is your biggest freedom. So use this knowledge constructively and change your life, and just hear from me. Heal and reprogram your inner child, reconnect with your inner child. Your life will change. It's a guarantee. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you very soon.